Okay, please feel free to continue to enjoy your lunch. We are going to go ahead and get started, though, in the interest of time. Deborah Torrance with the North Carolina Institute for Child Development Professionals, Anna Carter with the Division of Child Development, and Aaron Lyons, also with the Institute for Child Development Professionals, have been kind enough to join us today. And I just want to be sensitive to their schedule because they are stepping out of another conference as well and are taking their lunch break to join us today. So I'm going to turn it over to them. If you have questions, I'll probably do the same thing as we did during the webinar and just pass around the mic. And I believe Aaron is going to go first.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Deborah Torrance. I'm the director of the North Carolina Institute for Child Development Professionals. I'm connecting to you from a CEU development training in Asheville, North Carolina. Actually, I'm in Canton, North Carolina today. And we're pleased to at least be with you virtually. Aaron Lyons, who manages the certification system, is on the line. Aaron, you want to say hello?
Hello.
And Anna Carter with the Division of Child Development. She's the Deputy Director, is also on the phone. Anna, you want to say hello?
Hello.
So we're hoping you can hear us okay. We have provided to you and hope you have in front of you the certification update for school-age professionals.
Did everybody get a chance to grab that? It's at the back of the room. It was with the lunches. It's a 2-page handout that looks like this. Just raise your hand if you don't have one. We'll bring one around. Okay, go ahead, ladies.
Thanks, Jamie. And so I'll start with just a brief overview about what certification is, and then I'm going to ask Anna to talk about the law, and then Aaron's going to touch on applying and the sales as well as renewal. And then you'll see other sections, other updates on the handout, and we'll be available to answer questions as well. So to get us started, Early Educator Certification is a professional certification. While there is a law in place that Anna will talk
Hello. Deborah?
Amy?
Oh, there she is.
Yeah, it just cut out all of a sudden. Okay, I'm back. So Early Educator Certification is a field-wide professional certification. The law has been put in place through the legislature to support professionalizing our field. And so while the law exists to emphasize certification, it's not the reason to be certified. The reason is because we are professionalizing our field, just like all other professions have certifications. Hairdressers, plumbers, even chicken dealers have a certification. So we're catching up. And right now there are over 30,000 of us out of 40,000 that work directly with children who are in the certification process. They are from every county in North Carolina and from multiple roles, but the majority are working directly with children. So it's a field-wide professional certification that also has the benefit of creating efficiencies across systems, saving programs funding through the EEC rewards, which are discounts on supplies and equipment and materials and jewelry and handbags and lots of things for us as individual early educators. You may know that public school teachers and or state employees have a book of discounts, and I have vowed before I die, I won't say before I retire because I probably never will in this field, but before I die, we too will have a booklet that will help increase our compensation until we can get the other supports and other resources to help increase the salaries of our field. That is a strategy that programs and individuals can use to make their dollars go farther. So it was put in place as an efficiency strategy for programs, for individuals who were sending transcripts to multiple entities, same material, same application, questions being answered. Put in place for state systems so that we could share data electronically, as professions do, and save them resources and decrease the duplication of effort. It's also reducing the wait time for employment and giving a rate of higher documentation. As we work toward alignment with the Division of Child Development, that will get smoother as we go forward, and we've been working hand in hand on developing those strategies. So I'm going to stop there and turn it over to Erin, who will describe the schooling scale and renewal process. So Erin, you want to go ahead?
Sure. The school age scale is very similar to the ECE scale. It's actually based on it. But what we're looking for is coursework based on children ages 5 to 12. Once a person has at least 6 hours semester credits in courses focused on children ages 5 to 12, we look also at those focused on younger children as well. There are 14 levels, including the paraprofessional level, so there is a level for everyone who applies, whether you have any college coursework or not. When somebody does have a degree, we look beyond the degree title. So when we have a degree in this, we look at the courses that made up that degree, because that individual may have taken some education courses along the way. So we really do look beyond just what the title of the degree is. When individuals apply, they do need to submit official transcripts from all the colleges they've attended. If they have not attended college and don't have college coursework yet, just make sure that's indicated on the application so that we know the application is complete with just the application and the $50 certification fee. Now, the renewal requirements on the school age scale were recently updated. It is either 3 CEUs or 2 semester credits for an individual to renew their certification. And they have either 3 or 5 years to complete those requirements. Once an individual is certified, they do receive specific requirements. If somebody does not have any focused hours at all, the requirement is that they take semester credits, and CEUs are not an option at that point. But it's really important that when individuals get their certification letter and certificate, that they read the details of the letter that apply to them and what they're eligible to do to meet the renewal requirements. We do have some people who are certified on both the early care and education scale and the school age scale. And those requirements can be met together if you choose strategically. In most cases, if you're going to take semester credits, courses in education may meet the requirements for both scales, and CEU should always meet the requirements for both scales. And the ECE scale requirements are 6 CEUs or 4 semester credits, or a combination of the two. So those certified on both scales don't necessarily then have to complete 9 CEUs or 6 semester credits. We don't add those up. So that's just touching on it. There's probably more details somebody might want, questions later. We do have information on our website about. Deborah, that's about what I have right now. I didn't know, did Anna want to add something at this time?
Okay, sure. I can talk a little bit about the law and what you might be seeing in the program right now, or what you should be submitting if you're currently working in a program. Again, my name is Anna Carter. I'm the Deputy Director here at the Division of Child Development. The law regarding certification passed last summer, and it requires that anybody that is working with children gets certified. The law specifies the time frame for when that has to occur, and says that any staff that were hired on or after 1st of 2010, so last fall, must submit information to the Institute in order to get certified. Staff that were in place prior to October 1st, they have until July of 2012 to get certified, although there's nothing to prevent them from going ahead now and submitting that paperwork to get that underway. But they do have until next summer to do that. And when I say staff, what that means is any individuals who are counted in child ratio. So if you're in a program that has both preschool children and school-age children, it's folks like your lead teachers, maybe your teacher aides, your group leaders, your assistant group leaders. Now, administrators, regardless of when they were hired into a program, have until July 1st of 2012. So whether they were in place prior to October 1st of 2010, after October 1st of 2010, they do not need to be certified until July of 2012. And that's because the administrator endorsement is currently under development and will be piloted. So because that isn't in place yet, that's why they're given a longer certificate. Question: how does certification put integrated license? And at this moment, it doesn't. But the Child Care Commission has rules right now to add in certification for group leaders, for program coordinators, for leaders, etc., as an additional option. So while the rule right now would say that the group leader has to have impact, hours of experience, and perhaps extra hours, an option would be added that if they also had certification level, that would be acceptable as well. So what those rule changes will do will expand the options and will get us to the point that Deborah was referencing earlier, that when you hire somebody, if they show you that certification document card, you would then know where they would fall within the rated license. It's a little bit easier in trying to determine the impact on your program. Just to reiterate, those rules are not in place, and the commission will vote likely at the, and then they would potentially by July. And at this time, what staff are looking for when a consultant visits your program is your current staff and when were they hired, and if they were hired after October, have you submitted the paperwork to that certificate? If that paperwork has been submitted to the Institute and the individual has not yet received their certification card or their certification, our staff are still able to learn what that certification level is through our workforce unit. So you should not submit an information to the division if you've submitted it to the Institute. Deborah talked about not doing transcripts, and that is the goal of it. So that's a really important message to hear, that if you're submitting information to the Institute, continue to submit information, transcripts for additional courses, etc. to the Institute. You do not need help. The other kinds of questions we have received have to do with training, and do use or courses that you take for certification count for in-service required by the division? And the answer would be yes. If those are within the 9 content areas, as they most likely will be, then they would also count for your in-service training. However, the division still require annual training. You just need to look at the timing of when you take